You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
What?
No. Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh my God. You.
It definitely does seem like a lot of people are losing their minds. There's a Ring video that's being circulated around by a lot of people on social media, just highlighting some of this alleged Trump derangement syndrome. Now, it's also important to note here, we're in an election year. There's a lot of fakes out there. I haven't independently verified this. It does seem legitimate, but take every video you see during this kind of crazy last 2 weeks with a grain of salt. But this is the video that is being shared around a lot of right-wing circles, highlighting the Trump derangement syndrome.
I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful.
Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people?
No, I haven't walked by recently.
Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
What?
No.
Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh my God. You for that one.
That's
Moral?
exactly right. That's how your side acts.
Oh my God.
That's
He's
how
the
you
most
guys-
immoral person around.
In your opinion, that's
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Have a
She's
nice
got
day.
a big case
Have
of
a nice
TDS.
day.
And PMS.
God bless you.
It's actually really sad because the girl seems like she's watching the news all day and she is believing everything she's been told, and she's not realizing that he's got Bobby Kennedy who's going to make America healthy again. We have 1,000 ingredients that are banned in Europe that he's trying to change. They're in our foods and our children's food here, and they're not. The news isn't reporting that. They're just saying he's Hitler, and it's really bad to get these people like this. They're very unhinged.
Well, how would you respond to an unhinged
I'd give her a hug.
person?
I'd give her a hug.
No.
I'd give her. I met her.
What would be the more effective?
I met a supporter in
route?
New York the other day. My friend's like, you're a moron.
Robbie's going to be in HR.
I gave
Why
her a
did you
hug.
harass
She's
this
texting me
woman
right
and
now.
grab
I'm telling her to vote for
inappropriately?
Trump. She wanted to vote for Kamala as a black woman. I met on the street in New York, and she's literally texting me back and forth because my other friend was like, "You're a moron," and I was like, "No, I love you, but hear me out. Like, make America healthy again. Like, this is different this time. The Unity Party. It is different. You know, Trump's not a normal Republican." So I think there are something we've never experienced before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that people should have discussions about it, because the first thing the lady says inside the house is she accuses the old lady. Are you the lady that's screaming everywhere? Like, yeah, but are you really scared of that old lady? Like, is she really going to hurt you? Like, maybe invite her in, have a seat, make a tea, have a conversation, agree to disagree. But like, I don't know. I think this lady knew what she was doing with the video too. I don't think she made any effort to actually talk to her neighbor.
Yeah, the mental illness is real. It's severe. And I think one of the biggest causes of mental illness right now is the corporate media. I think that's a legitimate argument to make. You look at the coverage that they had of Donald Trump after two people tried to take his life. Overwhelmingly, a huge percentage of it was negative. How can you trash someone who almost lost their life recently? It's not just immoral, but it just shows you to the true nature of this larger kind of enterprise that is losing legitimacy at record levels. And they deserve to lose this legitimacy. They deserve to lose their viewers. Independent media is taking their lunch gladly. Good. They deserve to be absolutely obliterated by independent media that, of course, does their job that much better and provides a unique perspective here. Now, again, there's other people in independent media that take it, in my opinion, too far. And they worship people, and they never criticize them. We try to do. We don't do that here. We try to talk as honestly and as frank as we can here. And sadly, a lot of the discourse is missing a lot of that real kind of conversation.
The liberal media does an excellent job at preying on lower IQ people and preying on weaker-minded people to get them in their cult. It's really apparent. I think Nicole Shanahan did a really beautiful commercial. Did you guys see the TDS commercial by Nicole?
No.
You didn't? Oh, gosh. I got to send it to you right now.
Yeah, send it to me. We'll play it right now.
Oh, it's incredible. Okay.
And go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, just when it comes to that lady, like there's certain people that you probably can convince if you take the time to consider at least the conservative point of view, or maybe even persuade them to switch sides, like my grandma. However, when you're that far gone, I don't think that there's anything you could do don't think bringing her in to talk to her, I don't think bringing her in for a hug, I think that'll just upset her more. There's people that are just insane, and
Yeah, but people need to be loved, because that lady on the street, she was fighting with this girl that I know that I had met, and she was calling her more, and I was like, as soon as I came from a place of love, she was receptive. She's texting me. I think if you be divisive, it doesn't solve things, though.
I don't think that you should necessarily be divisive. My dad has a saying, never fight with ugly or crazy, because they have nothing to lose. And I feel wholeheartedly about some people are just too far gone. Like, maybe treat
There are a
them
lot
with
of goners,
love.
I admit that, but some people can be saved. I don't think everyone's a goner. I think certain people can be saved.
That lady was a goner.
She might be a goner, but we have to give her a chance before we
You can tell.
No, older people are stuck in their ways, and they never kind of
They are
revert
stubborn. I agree.
and they're a lot more stubborn than, of course, younger people that are more manualable. And that's why, the Rockefeller education system takes kids when they're very young and indoctrinates them into becoming slaves and statists. But that's just my
TDS is real. I did send the video over to you. If you
I
want to
absolutely agree. We have this video right now from Nicole Shanahan.
Suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS.
It's brilliant.
Introducing independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, independence allows for constructive
It's really funny. Me and Tim Pool made a similar video like this when Barack Obama was going after Mitt Romney during that election cycle. And we made a very similar video. I want to pull it up. I'm going to do my best to find it, because it was almost the same exact thing, but with a lot more of a crappier production that was done in a more crude kind of
I was a sucker.
fashion.
I voted for Barack Obama. I campaigned for him.
Did you really?
Change you can believe in. Yeah, I was a sucker. I drank the Kool-Aid. And that's why I'm so excited now for Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk. That's why it blows me. I talked to liberal friends of mine. I'm like, Dick Cheney supports your party. He was like the most war-hungry vice president of all time. And they're like, they just TDS all day. They just still want to vote for nothing you can say will change them. They're goners, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, but you didn't necessarily. Do you not have a party affiliation, or you do have a party affiliation?
I'm an independent. I support this party for sure. The Trump, Elon, Vivek, Tulsi, RFK this time. But I did vote Democrat in my past.
Holy cow! This video's from 11 years ago. With me and the Beanie Man.
Must have a comprehensive strategy to help reject this.
Are you feeling sick and depressed hearing about Barack Obama and Mitt Romney? You may have a case of RTPDS, or restless two-party delusion syndrome.
Look, I know that Romney and Obama are both evil, but Romney's going to be way worse. Vote for Obama, we'll be better.
Do you get headaches, feel tired, ill, have upset stomach or irritable bowel syndrome when having your friends or loved ones telling you to vote for the lesser of two evils?
That's when he lived in Bed-Stuy, right?
Okay. I mean, I know that Mitt Romney's policies are pretty much the same as Obama's, but look, we just can't have another 4 years of Obama.
Being manipulated into believing that there's only two choices to selection hurts in so many ways.
I've never seen this.
If you're going through any of these horrible symptoms, it's time to consult the internet about TPPC, or third-party presidential candidates.
I wonder if secretly Nicole saw your video.
No, it's an ongoing kind of skit, and it's there's more highbrow humor here, as you can see here. We are changed. We definitely are known for our class.
I see you have maturity.
In clinical studies, possible side effects of TPPC include end of the war on drugs, labeling of GMO foods, stopping foreign wars of aggression, end of corporate bank welfare, the repeal of the NEA government-spying Patriot Act, and the deposition rates.
Do not take TPPC with the mainstream media.
So that's the old school videos.
That's great.
For me and the Beanie Man all the way back then, essentially describing sort of the similar situation that unfolded here. So
that was beautiful.
That's a flashback. But now the situation's a little bit different, I would say. It's not just a two-party system, but it's a system that is kind of collapsing in on itself.
I think the parties have flipped.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. The same thing that the Democrats previously stood for, now the Republicans stand for. Free speech, anti-war, civil liberties. That's something that they used to cheerlead. That's something that they used to stand behind. And now they're literally trampling it with support of all the major corporations out there that they previously held their fist against.
And a lot of the things that, Democrats were warning conservatives about, such as the Patriot Act, and conservatives being like, oh, that would never be used against Americans, are now being used specifically against conservatives. And there's so many things that conservatives were rallying and, trust the government. Well, of course they're going to handle it properly, that it's now come back and bit us in the booty. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They've lied to the people. They've done a good job at making it seem like they're against censorship. They're pro-censorship, the Democratic Party. They're pro-war. I'm telling people this all the time. They don't understand. Trump had no new wars. You got to give credit where it's due. People got to get over their egos and get unprogrammed. It's really sad. We got to make the world a better place.
It's so weird.
Make America healthy again.
It's so weird as our ideals have kind of flip-flopped. We also see those in power, for instance, the military has always been considered a kind of conservative area. A lot of the people who join the military are conservative, but the heads of the military are extremely liberal. You look at the FBI, CIA, once ran by conservatives and used by conservative presidents to attack Democrats, are now liberal and used to attack conservatives. I don't know if the IRS was ever conservative, but if it was, I'm sure it attacked Democrats, but currently it is absolutely
the military-industrial complex.
Well, Obama's known for using the IRS to go after right-wingers.
Absolutely. But I don't know if conservatives ever had power over the IRS, unfortunately. But everything else has
I think people should come together and both sides of the party and how about abolish the IRS? Why don't Republicans, Democrats, whites, blacks go on a march instead of all this divisive marches? How about they do a march for something like that?
I mean, it would be amazing to get rid of income tax, federal income tax. That would be unbelievable. In fact, that's actually, sovereign citizens do you know what a sovereign citizen is?
Yes.
A lot of them believe that's actually where the government overstepped its rights and therefore no longer had the rights over them, because with federal income tax, that's the violation of the Constitution that has never been walked back.
Well, we had the third assassin on that was accused of being a sovereign citizen last week.
Van Miller.
He called in, Van Miller.
Wow.
And now he's releasing his body cam video footage of the incident, which kind of proves the police officers were lying through their teeth in a very kind of insane way. 30 figures lying? Yeah. Who would have thought?
With them, I think I told you I was at Rescue the Republic and I was doing press there and I met him, not even knowing. And then I was like, wait, I have this guy's number in my phone. I'd messaged you. I talked to him for an hour. I was like, this guy's a cool guy. And this guy's not an assassin. And so it's interesting that he's coming out with that now, because I knew intuitively he wasn't. He was just like a reporter. He was like a reporter dude. He's just like a pro-Trump guy.
Is he actually a sovereign citizen, though?
He never mentioned that to me. But
well, sovereign citizens don't refer to themselves as sovereign citizens.
He mentioned that. He said he made the argument, but that you're just going to describe here. But let's not deviate a little bit too far from the conversation. Mike is going to be here in a few minutes, so let's get all the zany kind of topics out of the way. And of course, the biggest one is that now witches are complaining that they cannot cast a spell on Donald Trump because, quote, he has some kind of protection around him. They're screaming on Reddit. Reddit is a far leftist website now. It used to be a website that was pretty good. I used to like Reddit, but right now it's just full, all-out state intelligentsia run propaganda out there. But this is the specific Reddit post with them describing some kind of protection around him that is preventing their spells from working against him. This is specifically on the subreddit called Witches versus Patriarchy, of course. What else they would be called here? As the witches are saying, hey, we're not having any effect here. There's something going on here. We now need to cast a spell against Project 2025, which will be pointless because it's the Heritage Foundation policy that is not even connected to Donald Trump. But they are now sending their juju and their energies against Project 2025, as well as trying to cast protection and success spells for Kamala Harris. Yes, you heard that correctly. They are now trying to get Kamala Harris in office through the casting of spells. What do you guys make of this? Since, of course, a lot of this is kind of zany, a lot of it is kind of out there, but a lot of people are saying, hey, some witches are doing this on Reddit, but let's be honest here. Some of the spirit cookers are probably doing this in Washington, D.C. too.
Well, go ahead.
The spirit world is real to me. I think that there's a battle versus good versus evil going on. I think after the second assassination attempt, when you watched his head move, to me, it seemed like he was protected. There was a reason he was alive. He could have easily been dead right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation. I think the world would be a different place. It's really interesting stuff that witches would want to get Kamala elected. These are not my type of witches. I think there's got to be some good witches out there who are on the opposite side. Are there any good witches out there?
Robbie always looks for his witches on Tinder.
You could believe in like the spirit world without believing in every type of spirit. Like, for instance, you could be Christian and you could believe in angels and you could believe in demons without having to necessarily believe that witches exist. So I don't.
Well, I know some witches.
Well, I know Xena the Witcher. That's the only.
They cast spells. I'm in the spiritual community in LA.
Does your friend Xena cast spells?
I think she thinks she does. Yeah, I believe she thinks she does.
What kind of spells is she casting?
They would be pro-Trump spells if they're political at all. She's definitely pro-Trump, but yeah, and anti-Jew. But she loves this Jew, so.
I'm not into witchcraft. I'm anti-witchcraft, but I've met witches and I've met people who've told me they claim that if they do something good, it's okay. If they do something bad, the karma comes back to them. I don't know what is true or what isn't, but I don't think you can just cast spells and wish harm upon someone and not have something bad come back to you if you're into that kind of stuff.
I mean, like I if anything, you're more of like a biblical sense of spirituality, like where I believe maybe demons exist and you could be possessed somehow, or you could have like evil around you. But I don't think that people can like declare themselves like a witch, or like there's that religious. What is that religious group? The Wiccans?
Wiccans? There's a lot of witches out there.
And they're witches.
They're just not in your circle, but there are a lot because they're not my. I mean, I just have met some over the years.
And you believe them? Like they can cast a spell?
They've been very confident when they've told me. I don't know.
Do they ride broomsticks?
I'm not for it.
If they say Avada Kedavra, are you gone? Like, can they do a Guardian Winosa? Like, I don't. Like, do they have wands?
There are people into voodoo. There are people into witchcraft. There's people doing all kinds of weird stuff around the world. If you're not in that circle, then maybe you weren't exposed to it. I don't want to be exposed to it. It's not something I resonate with. I like really positive energy and love and light. I like angels. Angels are protecting me. I love angels. But witchcraft's not my thing, and I just think that. But there are people doing it, as we see in the story, right?
I think there's people who believe that they're doing it.
You don't think that there's any?
They
truth.
identify as witches after switching from furries.
Right, exactly. They like playing make believe, and there's like a whole movement even on TikTok of people.
Are there any witches that can write in right now and?
But they would believe that they're witches. And I'm like, okay, that person believes they're a witch. There's a whole movement on TikTok of people who believe that like they go to sleep and they wake up and then they talk about, oh my God, I was actually at Hogwarts for 8 years and I had like a time portal.
That's a dream.
People believe that though. They genuinely, and then there's like a whole community on TikTok of people talking about how they were a witch at Hogwarts for 8 years. And when they awoke, like they came back to this realm.
I met a person who claimed to be a breatharian who says they don't eat or drink. So I think there's people that think they can do anything out in the world.
Those guys sneak off snacks in the bathroom and no one's paying attention.
The girl did come clean with me later that she was drinking juice. So
wait, are you talking about the Barbie girl?
Breatharian? No. Breatharian I met at this festival many years ago. Her name is Atlantis. She's like, I'm a breatharian. I just live off the breath of the air, the sun and the air. She's like sun gazing and staring, and just breathing. I'm like, you don't eat or drink. I was just like in shock.
Photosynthesis.
And then she later admitted to me that she does drink green juice secretly. But she claims to know a guy in Bali who's been 29 years without any food or water. I don't.
Yeah, until they go to the bathroom and sneak in a snack while no one's looking.
Is she super skinny? like wildly
She
skinny?
wasn't anorexic. She was skinny, but she wasn't like where you'd be like, whoa, this is unhealthy.
Hey,
Really?
hey,
Then
these witches, man. Can't be trusting the witches. But a lot of people are bringing up the larger religious aspect to all of this. As I think there's been a major decline in religion. I think it's going up in 2024 with just how absolutely crazy, awful, and insane this year has been. A lot of people are saying, you know what, maybe religion does make sense to me rather than this kind of larger godless and degenerate pushed on society by all these weird predators out there that are singing all these degenerate tunes. So yeah, that's happening. As of course, I've been telling people to prepare for a very long time. I just released a video about how to prepare on lukeunfiltered.com, a special secret, not so secret society where you get to join a lot of really cool, awesome people and be a part of the larger conversations that no one else really has. I go deep down the rabbit hole. I talk about my personal decisions. I talk about things that I do in my life that I am using information on in order to, of course, better it. And that's the information that I try to share with you in order to help promote, build, grow, and expand our human consciousness, wealth, prosperity, and liberty. Freedom is in your hands if you decide to act on it in the proper way. And I've built lukeunfiltered.com 12 plus years of behind the scenes videos just on that basic model alone of trying to give you the tools, the information, the seed oil cards, the crap list of items you should be avoiding at the supermarket. That's all available for members of lukeunfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Signing up is key, it's crucial, and it's more important than ever. Sign up right now, lukeunfiltered.com. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You go here and whatever your budget allows, I know times are hard, but for just $8, 20 cents a day, you could sign up right here, click it, and then you just put in a little bit of information. You get emailed back a login, you log in, and you get a lot of really awesome values that are a lot more valuable than Netflix. You have a choice. You want to do Netflix or you want to do lukeunfiltered.com. Make that choice. Vote with your dollars, vote with your clicks. Start to decide your own life path right now. 3 master classes that will teach you some really incredible skills. Do you want to sit there and be glazed by the satanic, evil, corporatist, demonic propaganda that plays on your subconscious and emotional, psychological weaknesses? Or do you want to be uplifted and, of course, enlightened and given information that a lot of powerful people don't want you to have? That decision is yours, and it starts with you signing up to lukeunfiltered.com. Sign up there right now, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you signing up to lukeunfiltered.com. And because you do, this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.